That is correct. So here we go. This is a Lazo game for Rob. Rob, is there a death pick in this game?
It's Rob. Is that a rhetorical question?
Ouch. Now, the Lazo is a Tier 7 Soviet cruiser that is built upon the idea of basically farming at long range. She doesn't do anything else really that well. Now, the nice thing about a ship like that is, hey, you're going to get a lot of damage most of the time. The downside to it is you're probably not going to have a huge impact on the battle itself. And I think that's the biggest problem with the Lazo, is you're just really there to farm things at maximum range. She's got a bit of a gimmick, and that gimmick is in her spotting aircraft. It reloads faster than standard, and so your uptime for the spotter aircraft is quite high. You almost always have the plane up, so you almost always get that extra 20% main battery firing range. Again, it helps you for shooting at long range, farming down targets. You're not going to use that to sniper scope into destroyers, for example, but you will use that for hitting battleships and stuff at maximum range. All right, Rob, are you here?
Yes.
Okay, good. First thing I'm seeing that I'm impressed. I mean, it's a premium ship, but you actually put modules on this, so GG there.
I even buffed the Hydra, it looks like.
Well,
I see that.
To be fair, it was only 4 of them.
And I've had this for a while, so those are probably the same one I've had since I got it.
All right, now your upgrades, you've gone main armaments mod 1, hydroacoustic search mod 1, aiming systems mod 1, and finally steering gears. Okay, of these, there are 2 that I would change. Which 2 do you think they are, Rob?
Well, I don't mean, like, it works well for me, but...
Okay. If it works well for you, it works well for you. Personally, the first thing I would change is I would change steering gears and I put propulsion in. Because the way that I play this ship is you're playing at long range, and then you hit W as a way to dodge shells. So you're not just hurting, but you're also changing your throttle. So if you do that a lot, propulsion is going to be a better choice than maneuverability. And you notice, or rudder I should say, you notice right here, your rudder shift time without the rudder shift is still 9.67 seconds. At maximum range, or quite high range, that's plenty of time to dodge incoming fire. So I would probably consider trying propulsion instead of steering gears, assuming you stop and go and stop and go. If you don't do that, it's not going to help you, right? You there, Rob?
Yeah.
Okay. The other one I would consider changing is actually your hydroacoustic search here. Because, again, since you're playing so far away from targets, generally, hydro isn't going to be helpful unless you're going to go charge down a sub in the end game. That's the only, in my opinion, the only use case I can see of it. I might instead choose to protect my engine room, because a lucky long-range battleship shell can take out my engines and make it harder for me to dodge more incoming fire afterwards, right?
Yeah, I think you don't really need the hydro mod on it. I'm not sure, like, if you have it on it, like, if I would demount it for the prop mod, unless you want to put the hydro mod on a different ship.
Right. Right. Either way, let's move on. Is this a special captain?
No, I don't think I have any special captains for Russia.
This
Really? You don't have any You don't have Kuznetsov?
No, I think I was just focusing on ships at the moment in time.
this is your
Get
petro.
Kuznetsov.
Is this a petro captain?
No, this is my Kremlin
How
commander.
much coal do you have?
But
Not enough to get the Kuznetsov without using some steel.
this
Well,
captain is
Save up
still,
a little.
Just save up your coal and get a captain.
Yeah.
This is not spec for a Lazo, though. You're using this on a different Russian premium cruiser, right?
Moscow, possibly. Stalingrad.
I think this is the only one I have. I think this is the build that works for me.
Abba.
Okay.
Could be a Delaney captain.
Delney. Oh god. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. You've got heavy AP shells on a ship that really doesn't sling AP much unless you're at close range with another cruiser or battleship, in which case you're probably dead anyways. It's got torpedoes, but I think they're 4-kilometer range. So you're not going to use them that much.
You're also not really benefiting from superintendent.
No, because you don't have a heal.
You probably don't have anything within your protection range for upgrade gunner either.
You have no idea where this captain came from, Rob?
This looks like
It
a
might be a
petro
Kirov.
captain to me.
Might have been the Kirov.
It's like he just showed up to the factory one day and started working.
Like,
The only
if
other
that
Russian cruiser that I have that isn't a tech tree is the Kirov. And I use a different commander for the Petro.
Okay. This actually wouldn't be a bad build for a Kirov. But, okay. Alright, so let's take a look at this setup here. And this is how I would set up a Lazo. If I was building a captain and you're only going to use them on the Lazo. First of all, you're probably never going to switch gun feeder. You're probably never going to switch out of HE. You're going to spam HE for days. So that's not that important for you. I would probably start with incoming fire alert. You need to know when to start dodging. And as soon as that pops up, then you start dodging. Alternately, instead of that, you could go for last stand to keep yourself going if your engines break, and then you pick up prior target. That's probably how I would do it, honestly. I would probably want to know how many people are targeting me, and then have the protection for my engines and stuff like that, and engines and rudder. So I would probably start with those two.
Remove the other skills so far. Just get rid of them for now.
Okay. Is that hurting your brain too much?
Yeah, it hurts.
Okay. All right. Next up, I would probably go Adrenaline Rush. We've talked at length about how useful Adrenaline Rush is for pretty much any ship in this game.
Yes.
After this, you've got some choices, right? After this, if you wanted to, you could go IFHE. Would you want to? Probably not. What is your HE pen? Is it this one?
20, 22?
25.
25?
25.
It's
now,
enough for
IFHE,
cruisers.
correct. Not enough for battleships. IFHE gets you that level, right? But not at the top tiers. If you're in a tier 9 game, for example.
It's basically the same situation as we had earlier on the Perth, except you're now a tier higher, which makes the matchmaking worse, and the IFHE a little bit less useful than it is on the Perth.
Yes.
Which for me would be the tripping point to not take it. But you could if you wanted. I would still take concealment first.
Your best bet is going to be concealment here. I would definitely go concealment to start. Now, moving on. This is a full 21-point captain, so we're going to go shopping. Moving right along, another skill that is actually useful is going to be heavy AP and HE. Because, again, you're only slinging HE all the time, right? Now, you will be detected more. You have to decide if that's worth it for you or not.
I wouldn't. Because here you don't have the IFHE to go with it. So you're not penetrating all of your HE shells.
Okay, and that's fair. I definitely wouldn't take AP. Heavy AP. I wouldn't take Superintendent because you don't have a heal.
Eye in the Sky should
Survivability
be your next.
expert. You think what?
Eye in the Sky is what I would take next.
I'm getting there. So survivability expert at the 3-point skills is going to be useful. All right, just because it gives you a little bit extra hit points and keeps you alive. Down here, we've already kind of established that the bottom row, not much is going to help you, frankly, once you get to concealment. Now, in the second point, Runty's talking about Eye in the Sky. This gives you extra charges of your spotting aircraft, and the cooldown for this consumable is halved. So right now, cooldown is 9.5 seconds. That takes you down to 4.8. The big thing is it keeps your plane up. You can put the plane up pretty much at the start of the game and keep going and not run out of charges. And if you want more ridiculousness, you could even, if you don't want to go into Eye in the Sky, you can just go for the spotting aircraft mod in slot 1 and get a very similar-ish effect.
You can still make use out of all your consumables, even with the spotting aircraft and the Eye in the Sky, because it only only lasts a minute base. So so if you have 7 charges that then last 1 minute 20 each, it's still covering the whole battle, and you.
So we've got a little bit of points left. What else are we gonna look into? Demo expert? Grease the gears might be handy.
What's the sort of? I would take demo expert probably, because you're shooting only HE. You want the fires.
That's true. That's true. Your HE is the big thing. So with demo expert, your fire chance is 14% per shell, and you are running the flag, so it's actually 13% without the flags, right?
Yeah.
So that comes in handy.
I don't think you need the turret traverse. It looks pretty good already, doesn't it?
The turret traverse is simply a choice because what else are you going to take at this point? Take a look. What else is he going to take? Fill the tubes?
Maybe, honestly, maybe radio location. Just drop the priority sector thing and take a radio location instead.
Okay, I could see that. That could work really well, actually. Sure. The reason I thought about turret traverses in those cases when you get really up close with somebody and you need those turrets to turn. But for the most part, long range, you're probably never going to need it. You're always going to look in one direction. Okay.
The only problem with this build is like it is super specific for a Lazo. You wouldn't want to run this on any other cruiser.
I mean, there's a couple other of the Soviet premiums, but yeah, for the most part, you're right. This is a one and done kind of a deal. It's a specialist build for the Lazo. So, okay. Let's move along and take a look at flags, anti-det, both fire chance, speed, and consumables.
I mean,
you can probably afford to drop consumables.
Honestly, instead of the radio location, like if you wanted it at that last point, if you have the disposal, you could halve your fire chance and pick up the IFHE instead.
Yeah.
But it would be my last thing I pick. It's not as good as tier 7 as it is at tier 6.
I agree, and I think the radio location is still better. If this was a tier 8 ship, I think you could make the argument for IFHE because you get that extra little bump in penetration. You get the 1/5 HE pen instead of 1/6.
On the other hand, you already pen 30 millimeters if it was a tier 8 ship, because that's how they work, right? So
well, that's what I mean, right? You get the 1/5. So then
you get to pen the battleships again, yeah.
Bingo. That's the key difference. So anyway, Rob, this is how we discussed to build it. If you want to screenshot this or something for the future, up to you. But are we good to go to your replay?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have the resources to reset the captain just yet, so.
Yeah, well, save it for the next free respec, you know, because Wargaming is very generous with that.
I mean, it's a premium.
Bull.
You don't need to use a 21-point captain. I mean, you could just, like, I don't know what other Russian captains you have, but if you have like a 15-point battleship captain somewhere or destroyer captain, you could throw that one in.
Keep in mind that this is using my battleship captain.
Right.
This commander usually goes to my Kremlin.
Okay, then destroyer captain, whatever.
Let's give them a hard time.
All right, so
landing guard too.
The battle has started, and Rob is moving 30 seconds late. Cool. So obviously you tabbed out. We're doing something else.
I think I was checking on the stream I was watching. Because I have a tendency to watch.
It was my stream, right? Totally my stream. Yeah.
It depends on when this match took place. If it was...
You're supposed to say yes there, Rob.
Just say yes, Rob, and then I like you still, okay? Just say yes. Anyway. Alright, so Seychelles, small map, not a lot of cover. Obviously, honestly, Charlie 1 is where I'd be heading right now. It's a small island. You can sit behind it and shoot for free over things. Either that or stay mid. I wouldn't go in between right here, out in the open, personally. Now, you are lucky. only 3 battleships, lots of cruisers. So this is actually really good-ish matchmaking for you in terms of not being shot at and killed by battleships.
Обнаружены силы противника. Корректировщик взлет произвел.
Plane up, you're shooting at an Omaha.
Don't.
Ironically, one of the few ships you could probably get away shooting AP at. But
You know that
I don't
you're
know how much it's
full
gonna help.
broadside to that side here, and because you shot, you're now visible. This could have ended your match right there and then.
yes, but there's only 3 battleships, and Mr. Murderous Daka in the Colorado doesn't seem to care that you exist right now.
Which is very fortunate for you.
Now, right here, Rob, as you're turning out, this is where you slow down. If you're gonna play the forward-backward game, this is where you slow down so that you can then speed up if you need to. Instead, you're moving at full speed, which is fine. I mean, this is a mistake that a lot of players make. That you know, they hit W 4 times, they never touched the throttle since then. So, speaking of mistakes players make hitting W, never changing that. Rip your renown, Captain. I mean,
He really
okay, he
wanted those
torpedoed
torpedoes
somebody.
off, but
Well, he did, didn't he?
Корректировщик взлет произвел.
Look, your plane's back up again. Colorado, yes. Why aren't you shooting?
I wasn't sure which way he was turning.
There you go.
You sign a peace treaty with him, Rob, and not tell anybody.
I wouldn't worry about which way he's turning. I'd just take the shot. The thing about light cruisers, especially like this, is that you've got such high DPM, you've got such good reload, you can afford to correct on the fly based off of what they're doing. I want to also point out you are stuck bow in right now because you're up along the border. Now you're realizing this. Hey, you hit him.
Yeah, if you're so focused on shooting all the way zoomed in to the ships you're shooting at, I think you're often losing track of what your hull is actually doing.
Fortunately for you, the Colorado has a kickton to look at, right? So, whatever. Hate Pit! Got the giveaway. Thank you, Puddin', for doing the draw.
Oh, you know what time it is.
Yep, you can go ahead and do another one for a CC container, because we'll likely continue afterwards. I want to make sure I got that thing working for one. I like, though, how you're just bullying a Colorado. He's running away from you. Can we talk for a second about how stupid that is?
Well, I mean,
You're keeping pushing here into all these ships though, and you're pretty much alone except for a half HP tier 6 light cruiser.
And yet they're running away from him. I don't get it. If I'm that Colorado, I'm staying put and just, you know, killing Rob.
To be fair, if I saw Rob rushing me, I'd run too.
Why?
Rob has a tendency of dying. I don't want to get caught within that field.
Oh, okay, that's true. That's true. Yeah, you can
Are you
can take some
afraid
damage too.
his ship thinking is gonna drag you down with him, or what?
You'd never know. Wargaming could implement it at any point, and I don't want to be caught off guard.
He doesn't want the collateral damage. I understand.
Why?
Why are they just face checking you?
I don't get it. I really don't.
Why do you actually put the spotter plane up there? You didn't need it.
I mean,
Why are you shooting
What are
the
we watching,
Colorado and not the low health cruiser that you could kill faster?
hey, Duckman's here. Hi, I like the idea of shooting the Belarus though. He's low health. Get him out.
No, that's what I mean.
And look,
He
he's
should
top
have
grade
been-
gunner procs.
You should have been shooting him instead of the Colorado.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I realized he was low health right away.
Also, Duckman, I'm glad you're here because now you could possibly win things if you are drawn.
Again.
Unlike earlier when your name was drawn to win the Black Friday containers and you weren't here. Rip you, son.
Which, by the way, had a premium shipment.
Had a Pommern Black in it.
That was a Brandenburg.
Wow.
Brandenburg, no?
Oh, you're right, Brandenburg. You didn't get Citadel there. That's it.
Well, more importantly, Duckman didn't win or get the ship.
I already have a title for this in mind.
Slow down here. You got the island. See how the island is blocking your vision right here? If you slow down here, you can just park yourself behind this spot and shoot for free.
Корректировщик взлет произвел.
Okay, what's the title?
So, you remember that game earlier that we titled Paid Actors?
Yes.
This is Paid Actors 2 Runaway.
Paid Actors 2 Electric Boogaloo.
No, Runaway. Because they're all running away for no reason.
I mean, let's be real. What Rob is doing is the Han Solo maneuver, right? When he charges a whole bunch of stormtroopers and they all run away from him.
You know, I think when Rob plays with us, he's doing here the plays he's make because he's getting away with them in games like this.
Yep. He's learning all them bad behaviors.
But see, this is what I was saying earlier. You know, you can make all the bad decisions, but if the enemy makes worse decisions than yours, like, you just get away with it. It doesn't mean that you're right. It's just they played worse.
Rob's got them bad habits.
Like, I don't know why they ignored you for so long.
I'd shoot
I mean,
the New Mex here. You already got 2 fires on the Colorado. Get the New Mexico kicking. With me 94, say something if you're here.
I like the greed, Rob, but if you gotta aim for the nose. If not, you're better off just hitting the New Mexico.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was trying to
Exactly.
get
He's
the
already on
nose.
2 fires.
I'm kind of with Rob here. Keep shooting the Colorado because, like, if the New Mexico gets hit, maybe he's the one that will actually shoot back then and delete him. So
Well, if the Colorado's shooting back, he's just completely whiffing.
yeah, I mean, like, don't alert the New Mexico, then you have to dodge 2 ships. Like maybe the Colorado Mexico is
I'm already
actually a
dodging
good
2
shot.
shits. I think the New Orleans is shooting at me.
He is, but it's a New Orleans. Who cares? By the way, I like that you changed your target on the perf. That's a really good thing to have done there. Get the low health ship out, especially because look, you're losing.
Somehow, which is absolutely shocking.
What do you mean somehow?
considering- I mean,
All,
look
the entire
outside
enemy
the
has been
map.
corralled into the middle, and then they've just completely dominated because of that. Oh, where'd he go? Oh, he switched to HE. Murderous DACA switched to HE, guys.
I know them so much he switched to HE.
At that point, just sail broadside to him and don't care.
With all of your shots, I would have started ignoring you because you're barely hitting them.
That's true as well. Oh, but I think he's got AP in the barrels there. Yep, that was AP.
Возвращаюсь на корабль.
Really could have used that spotter plane right about now.
Hey, don't worry, it's back up in a few seconds. Don't spectate, you need to get ready for the shot on the New Orleans.
Пожарная
And the
тревога.
Belarus.
Неполадки устранены.
That took you a while. I would have kept the second set for the Colorado. But actually, the second set works. Switch to AP now, you're buffed AP because you spec'd into extra AP damage. How many AP shells have you fired this game, Rob?
40,
Don't even worry about your torps.
47?
Don't even worry about your torps.
I think I
Torps
was
don't matter. He'll be
testing
dead before your
something.
torps even hit. You what?
I think I was testing something on. I don't know
Testing
what I was.
what?
How useless
I
can
don't
commander
know.
skills be?
Hey, I know my gunfighter
Just
killed
go
him
for a
faster,
while,
but
okay?
let's just do the slow and painful.
Крейсер противника
Damage.
уничтожен.
You still managed to shove your torpedoes directly in his
Must.
face, and he only got 4 kilometers. So
Must use
GG
swords.
there. And can we talk about the? Look at the team lineups now. Can we just talk about how ridiculous it is? The entire enemy team was looking so strong, they just evaporated.
We did 3,500 with the first AG salvo
All right,
in the ship.
have
and then we
fun.
decided
I'm
to-
out of here.
All right, Puddin. Hey, thank you. Puddin, are you still streaming, by the way? Never mind. Idiot. I think you angered him too much with all your.
But yeah, I think I'm definitely gonna respect this captain.
Definitely do that when you have the chance. And like I said, it's the Lazo. Unless you play the Lazo every day, 5 battles a day, it's not worth respecting. But for the love of God, put another captain in its place and just tell this guy he's fired. You know?
Or get yourself a Moscow and use a captain on a
I
Moscow.
had a Moskva.
What do you
But
mean
I was
you
asking
had
if you're
a
still if you're.
Moskva?
He did. Remember, he got rid of it in order to take advantage of whatever thing it was, because he
It was like
thought
the
he could get
trade-in.
it back with coal.
Oh, you can.
Trade, and he got the turpits out of it.
You can. get it back
Puddin, I was
with
asking if you're still streaming so that I can tell people to go watch you and stuff. Oh, look, Yodachi. You are. Okay, cool. Well, I shouted you out. I'll do it again later.
What is 50-second Texas? What does it even mean?
Wait, if it. No idea.
Poor Murderous Doc, I'm very, very frustrated with you, Rob. His problem was he ran away from you. If he would have just held his ground, you would have just kept on getting closer
It's
to
not for his
him.
lack of trying, yeah? It's not for the lack
Well, yeah. Oh my God, Rob's not dead, right? So it's just a sub and the poi boat to deal with. Oh. And just on cue, your hydro is not available. Rip. Not like it matters. So, that happens.
Rob's like, please kill me, and enemy team, nah, we're good.
Корректировщик, возвращаюсь на корабль.
Rob's like, I'm just gonna run at you and I dare you to stop me. It's like it's like the Indiana Jones, right? That one part where the guy pulls out, he's got this whip and he's doing all this stuff and Indiana just pulls out his gun and shoots him.
I think it was a sword.
I mean, it's like that.
Seeing it only happened because Harrison Ford was sick that day.
I know, right? Those of you guys that don't know the story, apparently they rewrote it to he just pulls out his gun and shoots the guy because Harrison Ford wasn't feeling well enough to be able to pull off the stunts that they needed him to do that day when they were filming.
I think he had like food poisoning or something.
Mm-hmm.
And since this isn't the first time I live to the end, buddy.
Well, the game's not over yet. There's still... It's over. Let's go ahead and fast forward because at this point you're just looking for the sub.
5 минут до конца боя.
Fair enough, Vincent.
First time for me.
I think at this point, my
Yes.
decision was, let's go for the cap, just because I
That
can.
was way too late. You had 0 chance of getting this cap considering the state of the game and the points.
Well, I knew I wasn't going to get to the sub, so I just randomly decided to go for the cap.
Can we take a moment and appreciate your base XP? How did you do this? Look at your potential damage. 1 million potential damage in a tier 5 through 7 battle. 1 million. How many AP shells did you fight? Oh, 0. Good thing you got that
how
buff
much
AP.
damage did he? How much damage did he take from that Colorado?
You should be able to tell if you hover over the artillery button.
14k. 12 AP hits. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I don't know if I want to use paid actors too. I almost feel like I want to come up with a more unique title for this. Don't try this at home.
Tell
I
you
think I
to
want
kill
to
me.
don't try this at home.
That Colorado was something else.
I think we're gonna call it "Don't try this at home" because this is just you shouldn't try this at home, folks. This is not what's supposed to happen.
But if you don't try it at
Following-
home, where's the fun?
Following is a closed course with paid actors. Unkillable.
It's like I think it was him popping out broadside there by shooting to all the battleships, and Korav was like, understandable, have a nice day. Dominance asserted, and I'm like,
You had too many of your teammates that came out right in front and said, "Shoot me instead," and they obliged.
I mean,
they did.
that was for the first 3 minutes of the game. The remaining 17,
Yeah.
there
I
was
think
no
they picked you and
excuse.
actually survived the match too, if I remember correctly.
I see that.
God,
Unbelievable. And then here's the part where they all look so strong, right? The enemy has been corralled in the middle. They're stronger by a lot, and they all just died. Meanwhile, on the other flank, Rob just doing his thing. just
we don't know what it
full
is,
speed
but he's
forward.
doing it.
Bullying that poor Colorado.
If I try this, I die 3 minutes in. I guarantee you.
Order of battle, you get research points for, I believe, tier 5 and up ships, so make sure that it was a tier 5 ship that you used. If you're doing that on the public test, you reset a line, and then you regrind up, and you need to win a game in that ship to get the extra research bureau points, but like I said, it has to be tier 5 and up. You bought a tier 10 ship.
What do you mean you bought it? You need to grind the same line again.
Yes.
And then on those ships
So
that you
if
reset,
you do the Conqueror line, for example, you do Conqueror line, you have to get a win in the Conqueror again, not the Thunderer or something else.
it could also be that on the PTS, the research points you gain is greatly reduced because there's honestly nothing really to get for research bureau points on the PTS.
Okay. Possibility.
I mean, I think the most of that 2,000 basic speed was the 2 single caps that I got.
Absolutely it
That
was.
helped,
You got
for
2
sure.
solo caps and then, whatever, so. Anyway, Rob, thank you for saying the